Now, Julie Charlton, she is a practicing lawyer from Hong Kong. Julie, you're welcome.
First of all, it's very impressive to listen to the level of debate about your issues with the Russian system, and it's obviously the huge steps being made that lead to such detailed debate, so congratulations on that. From a Hong Kong point of view, and looking at perhaps Russian companies raising capital and investors from Hong Kong, I can tell you categorically that Hong Kong is open for business. In fact, in the regulatory sphere, Russia is a signatory to the IOSCO MOU, which is a huge step forward in international regulatory cooperation in terms of securities law enforcement. So the Hong Kong authorities can communicate directly with the Bank of Russia in terms of securities law breaches of any company which is listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And in fact, the Hong Kong Exchange is very much open for business. They've updated the Russia country guide to encourage Russian companies to list on the Hong Kong Exchange and raise capital as recently as March to accommodate the new international companies law. In the past year, Hong Kong was the largest market in the world for IPO funds raised, and it's been in the top 5 of IPO funds raised for the last 10 years. So unfortunately, the Me Too movement has not caught on in Hong Kong for Russian companies listing, so we do encourage more Russian companies simply to come to Hong Kong. They would need to comply with the very onerous investor protection laws and rules in Hong Kong, which in many ways impose more obligations on Russian companies, and all companies in fact, than say London does, or New York, where they will rely more on the court systems. We have a very proactive set of regulation, but certainly as long as the companies can comply, they're very welcome in Hong Kong. In terms of direct investment, my humble suggestion would be to perhaps expand the role of Kaliningrad and Ruski Island and create more special economic zones, perhaps building on the fact that the Hong Kong Arbitration Centre is now approved to arbitrate international disputes, certain corporate disputes in Russia, and that would certainly encourage many investors from Hong Kong and China to look at investing if there were enforceable clauses relating to arbitration through the Hong Kong or other approved arbitration centres, which would somewhat sidestep some of the issues that we've been hearing about the Russian system, certainly as far as international investors are concerned. And that has been the method that was used by China for many years